Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do a voiceover for the speed build. I've never done a voiceover before, so this is a little bit unnatural to me, but that's okay, we'll just give it a go anyway. And I wanted to do in a kind of like a teen apartment, teen parent apartment, but they're not teens anymore because they've got a toddler, so they're young adults, but I imagined when they did have their baby they were teens. So I decided to do it in 13121 Sheik Street in San Myshuno. It's in the fashion district. You're probably familiar with it, but it's a TLC apartment. It's a bit run down, a little messy. The layout is really weird. I kind of struggled a little bit on like where I wanted things to go. I decided to switch around the kitchen and the kids' room, I believe, and it didn't have a window in there, which I thought was a bit weird. So I switched that around and decided to have an open kind of concept kitchen with the living room and the dining room. And I was going to put the kids' room in where the electrical stuff is, where the kitchen used to be, but I thought that was a little bit dangerous. I mean, not in Sims because they can't get electrocuted or anything like that. Well, the toddlers can't at least. But in real life, I thought it was just a bit weird to have a kid's room where all the electrical things are. So I decided to swap the kids' room with the parents' room. So the kid, I imagine there'd be a toddler girl there. So she's got a nice open window in her bedroom, which is really nice. And I figured I wouldn't block off the electrical things just because then your Sims can't get to it. And whenever I play in the TLC apartment and I've downloaded one from the gallery and you can't get to the TLC electrical things or the what are they called, the mouse holes, I always get really frustrated because I have to go back into build and buy mode and I have to move things around, and it's not like the TLC apartment craps out, excuse my language, craps out every few sim days or something like that. It's like every day almost. I don't know about you guys, but I really, it's one of my pet peeves that you can't remove it. It's really annoying, especially when you want to do up an apartment to make it not so run down. But anyway, we can't really change that unless there's some mod or something out there for it. But yeah, so I decided I wanted to go with a very colourful thing, I imagine, with rundown apartments, compared to modern apartments where it's all kind of, you know, white walls, nice dark carpet, you know, those kind of modern tones. I imagine the old style rundown apartments would be quite colourful, but not in a nice colourful way, more of a, oh, this stove is 20 years old sort of way. So yeah, I decided to go with that theme. And I imagine there would be a teen mother and a teen father who moved in when they were pregnant and they got a little bit of help from their parents to buy an apartment or to rent an apartment. So it's not a starter apartment. I think it's a little bit more expensive, around 25,000 simoleons. So they would have, if you were moving in a family out of Creator Sim or something like that, you would have to either sell some items or cheat to give them a little bit of extra money. But I imagine that they had a little bit of help from their parents, but not too much help, so they're kind of still doing it on their own, and that's why they are in a starter rundown apartment. But yeah, so I imagine they had a little bit of money. They got some nice furniture. I imagine the mother wanted her furniture to match the cabinets and the toilet and the shower and the sink and that sort of thing. So I did that. So we've got some turquoise or aqua mint cabinets, and then I've also got the blue cabinets underneath. I didn't want everything to be aqua. I wanted it to be a little miss and matchy. So here I'm just kind of trying to figuring out what I want to do with this little room. I thought I would turn it into a little office, but then I was also like, maybe I could turn it into a laundry room, just because the bathroom was a little bit too small to fit laundry in there, and I didn't want to take up any space in the kitchen. So I wasn't too sure what to do with that, but I did end up making it an office, but I demolished the wall and made it kind of more open plan. So here I'm just putting some things in the kitchen just to clutter it up a little bit. I thought it was a little bit weird not having a window there, but I thought it was less weird not having a window in the kitchen than not having a window in a bedroom, because it kind of just reminded me a little bit of a jail cell, and I thought, yeah, yikes, don't really want to do that. So I also put some rugs over top of the body outline because that was a little, you know, a little bit morbid. I didn't want my Sims to have to see that all the time. So I did cover that up. Yeah, I ended up just playing around with these couches here. I do like these couches. I believe they're from My First Pet Stuff. I know a lot of people have a few opinions about that stuff pack, but I actually like these couches. The colors, I don't know about the swatches. They're a bit difficult to match things with, but I decided to go with the blue and the yellow just because it kind of matched the kitchen a little bit, and you'll see when we do the bathroom a little bit later on that it kind of matches with the bathroom as well. So I imagine the mother wanted the furniture to match the kitchen and the bathroom and things like that, but I thought for the bedroom, because I end up putting in some bookshelves that match the other blue counters, that the teen father would actually want to have kind of a say in that. So the theme throughout the entire house, apart from the bedroom, is a bit bright and kind of girly, but I didn't want to have that theme throughout the entire house, so that's what I ended up doing. Here I'm just kind of playing around with some of the colors of the rugs. I also wanted to have some brick walls in there just to kind of make it a little bit more, not rustic, but you know those apartments in New York City that you see in images and they always have those industrial brick walls? I kind of got a little bit inspired from those, so I decided to do that, and I wasn't too sure what kind of artwork I wanted to put on the wall, but I ended up putting this, I think it's from Parenthood, one of those whiteboards, and you can like set the curfew and things like that. So I ended up putting that up on the wall, and I really liked this. It's a bit run down, but I like this cabinet. I think it comes with, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe cats and dogs. Actually no, it might be Parenthood, I'm not too sure, but I decided to put that in the bathroom, and it reminded me of the kitchen cabinets a bit, and I just decided to put down an old run-down mirror as well. And I wanted the bathroom to be kind of mix and match, a little bit bright and colourful to go with the kitchen. So there's a few colour options that I could have used for the shower, and I wasn't too sure. I think we end up going with this one, or maybe we change it. But I played around with this for a little bit. I wasn't too sure if I wanted a pink toilet or a yellow toilet or a blue toilet. But yeah, so some of these colours, they're a bit out there, but I thought it was kind of cute, and it's nothing I've done before. I usually stick with very modern builds, and I've never actually renovated this apartment, so it was a little bit of a challenge for me, especially with the layout. I had to play around with it a little bit in the beginning, but then once I kind of decided what I wanted to do with it, it got a bit easier. I don't think I've actually ever renovated an apartment before. I mean, I've only uploaded 3 videos, not including this one, to my channel, and in my own game I never usually really renovate the apartments just because I like to choose my own layout, and it's very restricting and you're not able to move, you know, the windows and things like that around, so it's a bit frustrating. But anyway, now I'm just doing the bedroom, and I was going to stick with the kind of theme that's throughout the rest of the house with the blues and the turquoise and the yellow and the pinks and the cream, you know, those kind of colors. But I decided on some bookshelves. I ended up going back to the bedroom a bit later on, but I decided on these bookshelves, and I believe they're from Parenthood, and I really liked the blue swatch, the one that matches the counters that I put in the kitchen. So the ones that you, not the cabinets, but the actual counters, you can just see them on the screen now. I picked that bookshelf, and then I kind of just stuck with that theme in the bedroom, and I really like how it turned out. I ended up putting on some shelves and cluttering them up, sort of thing. But yeah, so I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do in this space. I did end up making the bedroom a little bit smaller just before, just so that I could fit in a dining table in there. It was a little bit difficult trying to figure out the space, but I think it works out pretty well in the end. And I ended up using these trash or treasure chairs, I believe they're called, and it comes with the city living pack. And I think you have to unlock them when you go to the one of those festivals. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one where you show up and everyone's selling all their things, and it's kind of like a yard sale, but not a yard sale. I can't remember what it's called, but I think you can only buy them from there and then you have to unlock them. But I ended up using the bb.ignoregameplayunlocksentitlement or something like that. There's a cheat, I can link it in the description below. But yeah, I ended up using those trash or treasure chairs just because I thought they were a little bit rustic, a bit run down, kind of sticking with the theme throughout the house. But here in the bedroom, I'm just trying to figure out some colors. I really wanted to do the bookshelf with the kind of connecting them together above the bed, and I ended up putting some shelves there. But I wasn't too sure on the colors, and that's when I changed it to the blue and ended up doing that thing in the bedroom. Because initially, I was going to stick with the colors in the rest of the house and have kind of a girly bedroom, but then I thought, no, the teen father would probably want at least one room decorated to be matching his kind of style or aesthetic. So yeah, I ended up doing that. Here I'm just cluttering up the shelves. I'm just using the bb.moveobjects cheat. So to download this apartment, you will have to have that cheat enabled. But I'll put that in the description below in case you're not familiar with that one either. And when downloading the apartments, you do have to download them as a room. So I will delete, I haven't uploaded it to the gallery just yet, but once the video is up, so as you're hearing this, then it will be up in the gallery and I'll have the link in the description. But you do have to place the doors or the walls, but I will delete one of the walls so that the doors are still there, so you know where to connect the walls, and then you can just use the copy tool to put down the wallpaper and things like that. So yeah, it shouldn't be too complicated. I don't like how EA/Maxis has done that. I feel like there should be an option in the gallery to download apartments so that it's separate from houses and it's separate from the rooms. So I don't know why they didn't do that, because I feel like it would have made things a lot easier. But oh well, hopefully they'll end up doing something like that in the future. But considering it's been a long time since City Living has come out, the chances of that happening are pretty slim, I think. But oh well, you never know. It did take forever to get toddlers and things out, and we thought we weren't going to have them for a while, but they ended up surprising us anyway, so maybe we'll get that. But here I'm just decorating the rest of the bookshelves. I really liked this idea that I had, just having like a built-in bookshelf and then having the bed up against it. I've never done anything like that in my builds before, but yeah, I thought it was really a really cool idea. And now I'm just trying to figure out with the blinds. I ended up moving it up higher just so that there was the illusion that the window was a lot bigger, because I don't like these small windows, and it's at an awkward height. That you'll see in the where I put the office and the computer desk, just this window here, it's higher than the one in the bedroom. So I don't know why they did that, but it was really annoying. So yeah, I ended up using the blinds to create the illusion that the window is a lot bigger than it actually is. So just playing around with that for a little bit. I wasn't sure what kind of teen parents would live here. I imagined that the mother would be quite bright and cheerful and happy, and the father would be a bit sporty, still very much a teen. I feel like the mother would have grown up a little bit more than the father, but I'm not too sure about that. I don't know. You guys can create a family and put them in this house if you like, and you can share your creations with me, and I'd be really happy to check that out. But I don't know, I just kind of went with whatever was happening. I kind of went with the flow. After I had done the kitchen, I kind of just stuck with that theme throughout the rest of the house, and it seemed to work. But I like how it turned out. I'll definitely probably end up playing in this apartment, but yeah. So here I'm just playing around with the little girl's room. I stuck with the same kind of turquoise and the pink colors, and I ended up putting these tree decals behind the bed, which I really liked. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but I placed them in a certain way so that it covered up the mouse hole. I don't know if it'll be playable that way, but I will play test this entire apartment, make sure everything is working and good to go before I upload it, especially because I also placed a sink, and I believe it's from laundry day stuff, but I placed a sink in the counter in the kitchen, and I'm not sure if your Sims could actually use the sink just yet, but by the time you're seeing this video, everything will have been play tested and ready to go. So yeah, I'll have to make sure I do that, but everything should be fine. And if it's not, then a few things may have been moved around a little bit, but it shouldn't be too different to what you're seeing currently. So now I'm just placing some little toys and things around for the little girl to use, and I did end up using this toy basket, and it's not usable, so I did end up placing some toys around it just to kind of like clutter it up a little bit more. But yeah, I really like how the little girl's room turned out in the end. It's pretty simple, but the colors are really cute, and there's enough toys and things for her to do without it being too cluttered. I also made sure that the room was a decent size so that when she does age up into a child, there's still plenty of space to furnish the room with like a big bed and a desk if you wanted to, and other toys, since they do usually take up quite a little bit of room. But yeah, if you're still listening, thank you so much for sticking around through my cringy voiceover. But hopefully in the future I'll be a lot more comfortable doing voiceovers, and I won't be pausing and saying all the time and stuttering, and yeah, hopefully it wasn't too cringy to listen to. But if you have listened to the entire video so far, thank you so much. I hope it wasn't too bad. I hope you enjoyed the apartment speed build. If you have any requests or any feedback, just write something down in the comments and I'd love to respond back to you guys. And yeah, if you want to download this apartment, then there will be a link in the description, or you can just search for my name, CrazedSimFanatic, on the gallery. And don't forget to have bb.moveobjects enabled in your game, just so that anything that I've placed using that cheat will show up the way that I have placed it, rather than being all weird and all over the place. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe and leave a comment and all that fun stuff. And I will leave you guys with the screenshots, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone! I'm looking for a place where I can feel alive, where I can let you go and just be for a while. I got you on my mind all the time. Know I'm about. I hope I meet somebody who's better than you, that likes me for the things that I say and I do. Somebody who can help me make it through. Now I'm about. Play together. Play together. Play together. You said that I was not enough. You said you could do better than wasting time on me. And I admit it felt so tough. But baby, I guess this is how it's meant to be. I'm a buy plane ticket. Run away to LA for a minute. There will be no limits. I'm looking for a place where I can feel alive, where I can let you go and just be for a while. I got you on my mind all the time. No, I'm
I'm a part-time ticket.